them kill people.
I'll let you go. Alex,
Thank you very much for your call. It's going to be a wonderful second to last show. Jack, we will go to the very next phone call. Thank you.
Hi, Alex. This is Barrett.
Yeah. Hello, Barrett.
How you doing? Sorry to see your live show going. Leaving or whatever. I hope you can do it on a Sunday. That'd be great. You'd have more viewers. Anyway, I called about, did you see this? I thought it was funny at first, and I got kind of pissed. Bush and Clinton sitting next to each other asking for, if you can give us $5, or if you can,
sit next to each other.
$25.
It's okay. They're helping people.
Yeah.
They're not partners in crime. They don't go to Bohemian Grove together. They don't both have stock in the military-industrial complex. It's fine. It's fine. They smile. We love smiles. Obama. I voted for him, but I changed my mind after he got elected. I'm not responsible for all this stuff. I'm innocent. Sure, sir. You're innocent. You vote with your dollars. And you vote in other ways, sometimes in the ballot box. And if Barrett, go ahead.
Yeah, really, I think if everybody would have voted for McCain or somebody, or Hillary or something, which is Secretary of State, and they're supposed to be running against each other, Obama and Hillary, and now she's Secretary of State. People can't see this stuff.
They can't see this attempt to divide us. Man versus woman, black versus white. They want constant conflict internally based on these illusionary differences. The way our skin looks, whether we have a penis or a vagina. When in reality, it's still the same rich, white banker men controlling the whole thing. But it's just illusions as long as we think we're getting ahead and women are getting ahead and blacks are getting ahead. But the same thing continues to go on. It's a global plantation. But no, they don't like to hear that. Thank you for your call, Barrett. No, they want to hear, what's the positive thing about this? What's the positive thing about our intervention into Afghanistan? Aren't the women safer now? No, they're not. Mercenaries like Blackwater and DynCorp traffic little girls to get screwed by servicemen and other people in the Middle East that have got the money to pay. If you look at the Blackwater man camp, though, the Iraqi girls that were actually trafficked in were only paid $1 for each blowjob they had to give. That's I'm sure $1 can buy you a lot in Iraq. If you're starving half to death and you have no other options, it is just so sick seeing what we've done. And then you look at the meltdown of the economy that people aren't even really ready for, the real meltdown. And you take a look at what's going to happen, services being slashed. In the worst case scenario, cops won't get funded. Protection for you, little girls out there with your cell phone thinking that's going to save your ass when this shit hits the fan. You will not be saved by your cell phone. In a national emergency, your cell phone will not work. Of the light that we're talking about, they declare national emergencies all the time. The real deal, communications goes down, this goes down, the internet as you know it could change. That's why we have to fight, we have to speak loudly, clearly, and talk about these things. But there's always going to be people that don't like, I like your stuff, I just... But this stuff's serious. I'm seeing the decay out in the streets, and I'm seeing people act like nothing's wrong. One of my best friends just got fired to act like nothing's wrong. This is her goodbye letter that she just wrote to PCM. All the memories I've had in this facility. And they say it's still fine. It's still fine, Alex. It's still fine. No, you don't know that it's fine. But I'm not the manager here. I'm not in a position to make things better. I don't even know what to tell you to make things better. I've asked those questions. The answer is not clear what we do. Hope for the best. Hope for the best. Well, people like me that can see what's coming and prepare for the worst. Let's go ahead and take that phone call. Go ahead, caller. You are live and alive, hopefully.
Okay.
Hi.
Here we are. You are pretty much getting a little frustrated over the fact that you are a disseminator of this information, and people seem to find you more...
You have 60 seconds.
Hopefully as a, prophet of some form. I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate it.
No, you're not a prophet of some form. What? I mean, this news, I'm not making this news up.
That's what I'm saying. People believe that you may be. But I just think as a disseminator of information, I don't believe anything unless I've read it, heard it, or seen it in 4 different places. I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate you sincerely. And I cannot wait to keep seeing you and I want to take action. But you know, this place, it keeps you shut down. You can't move, and it's kind of scary. And it's emotional, physical, and economical. That's all I have to say.
And it's going to keep continuing. People could establish groups where they build a garden. You can establish groups that go and they try to build something. They try to find people with land outside of the metro area where they can free their minds from all this electricity and smog and chemtrails, and it goes on and on and on. Things like that are beautiful. Taking action is more than taking action politically. You got to take action for your own life. And are we just going to the next phone call, Jack? Is that what
Hello?
this is? All right, go ahead, caller.
Yes, I called just to say I see that there is a lot of corruption in our system, in our political system, and my solution anyway was to re-register with the third party. I would like to see the party machines and the influence of money taken out of politics. And the only way I can see that is for third parties to proliferate, and we'd dump all the incumbents, or as many as possible.
Well, I agree with your point. I agree with that. I think there are people that feel guided, their heart that is, to do certain things, and people's brains are actually wired slightly differently. I mean, we all have similarities, but in terms of what really drives them, in terms of some people being attracted to growing food, some people being attracted to becoming politically active, getting involved in third parties, and some people gravitate towards other things. So I think there's a lot of different interests that people that watch this show have. And so I'm not someone that could say this is the thing to do, because there are so many different talents that people that watch this show have. And so that point that you're making, though, is why we had 2 different candidates on last week. Some people may not have agreed with some of the things that Shailene might have said about this, that, and the other. But the point is, if you take a look at, as opposed to what we've got out there, you know, we've got some candidates out there that are very different than both Obama and Bush, both Clinton and Palin and McCain. They aren't even in that box. Someone made a smart-ass comment last week about you might as well have Sarah Palin on. And that was pretty derogatory to direct towards a woman that's trying to be independent and outside the general Democrat box. And so with that, we'll go to the next phone call as it rolls in. Let's go ahead and cover some news. Go back to where we left off at, and I'll go ahead and read it off the screen, because since we are completely scriptless tonight. Go ahead and bring up a couple things here where we left off. Keep people informed in between my rants and phone calls from people that are not focusing on the core issues, but how they can point the finger at me and ask me how I can do better, because they're interested in being entertained, but they want to be entertained the way that they like to be entertained. They're not interested in taking action. That's the other thing that I've come to the conclusion on. Most of you are, and I've said this before, but I'll just reiterate it, mostly interested in being entertained, taking this experience that you're getting right now for granted. And again, point the finger back at me if I say something that you don't like. Information aside, you got to learn to separate the personality from the information. Take a look at the stuff, and if you did really take it seriously and you did really care about people, you wouldn't allow yourself to vote for Obama. You wouldn't allow yourself to stay at home week after week after week without doing anything for yourself or the world. No excuses. I'm not about compromise. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pat your butt. I'm going to call out what I see as I see it, and very much we collectively, especially if you voted for Obama, you're responsible for the death machine, because you don't want to believe. You don't want to believe, and we were telling you this wasn't good. And some of you still don't want to believe, because he still smiles, he still orates well, you still got that hope and a little bit of change, a ding-a-ling-a-ling in your pocket. It makes you very speechless and worried for the future of the country. So as the corporations get more power over your country, and the special interests sometimes they control some of these corporations, you got to get sicker. More GMO, more crap in the water, more crap in the air. They can smile at you all they want. There's going to be a Republican coming very shortly. He's going to smile a lot too and say he's against all this stuff. Or maybe he'll have talking points where it sounds like he's going to bring change the way Obama did. But in reality, it's something completely different. You know, when George W. Bush was campaigning, he said we wouldn't be getting